when it comes to AI, the whole we can use the term observability here if possible. I think it may open new set of tools also to measure that. So what is happening, what kind of tools, what kind of resources are available, not only to kind of measure latency but other factors, because sometimes what happens is that I was talking to somebody, I think Iridu company, and they are coming with a whole new modern networking switch. They have a lot of investment there, because they're like, the thing is, you have all the GPUs and Akamai server sitting there. You have powerful machines but networking, it's not designed for this kind of workload. So we need a new kind of switches, new kind of thing. So talk a bit about what kind of resources are available, and where do you also see, as AI workloads will be more demanding when it comes to latency and other factors, how you see this sector evolving itself?
We have been working closely with Nvidia to help push forward this concept of an AI grid. Something that Nvidia believes very strongly, something that we talked about together at the GTC San Jose conference earlier this year, was this notion that to really achieve the full benefits and to realize the potential of this third scaling wave of AI was going to need to be distributed, and we were going to need the collective, intelligence and network distributions of the telco providers globally to help to provide that scaling. And what we've been working on with them is how to take things like their Bluefield DPUs, how to take their RTX Pro 6000 line of GPUs, how we're thinking forward to the future of what they're enabling with their Vera Rubin architecture, and how do you distribute across a hybrid cloud environment the sorts of orchestration resources that are required, one, to just make good with all of the existing network capacity that exists out there, to get from a core location out to a GPU wherever it might be deployed. You don't need specialized NVIDIA hardware to do that when you just need raw compute. And sometimes that's all companies are looking for today, is just that raw access to compute power. The other thing that we think about is within the NVIDIA ecosystem, they've done a great job of building out both open source and open capabilities in their architecture. If we think about, like, as an example, NemoClaw is something that they're trying to do to seize that wave or harness that wave of enthusiasm and sort of excitement around OpenClaw, but to add things like security guardrails and other governance capabilities to make it safer to scale that capability, especially for enterprise use cases. But then if you think about what they're building into their hardware and software stack, there's really this incredible ability to do certain amounts of your activities in software and certain amounts in the hardware. And in some cases, to have that synergy between the really, really quick switching times that you can achieve by doing things, for example, on the Bluefield architecture and the DPUs, to what we're able to do from an orchestration capability in a software perspective. And so where Akamai is excited and where we're bringing the capability now to market is with this notion of an orchestrator for the AI grid. And that orchestrator is designed to basically do load balancer-like things, but across the spectrum of what you might need to run an inference workload. So if you think about that, it could be, how do I get you to the fastest time to first token for the workload that you're running? If your business objective is that you need to start streaming tokens as quickly as possible, then part of the orchestrator code is to route you to available GPU resources on the network that you're accessing as quickly as possible to maintain time to first token at the lowest possible latency possible. I said possible too many times. The other things that we think about are, how much do you have for your overall workload? So what is the cost of the overall token workload that you are going to be streaming? And can we route you based on, again, the business logic for the query to an area where you will receive ultimately the best value or cost per token for what you're attempting to run? In some cases, you might be willing to trade off latency and cost per token in your business equation. And so we can route you to that. Another one is model affinity. We talked a little bit about not necessarily always needing the largest model. You don't always need, quote unquote, the smartest model. You need the model that's right for your workload. And Akamai is building out a capability that we actually demoed at the prior GTC and will be demoing again in Berlin in October, to show how we can route you to the best model and then keep you pinned to that model when the use case calls for it, but then switch you if either going to another model or going to a closer model might serve the workload better. And then from there, we also just think about pure proximity or the overall scaling capability or the scaling limit that you need to reach for your workload. So if you think across those 5 axes, Is it the time to first token? Is it the cost for the token? Is it the amount of available capacity and power that I need to route to? Do I need to get you and keep you on the right model? Or am I ultimately just trying to optimize this for routing around problems? Those load balancing characteristics are all going into the orchestrator. And we think that that software and the design that we are building now is something that will help to really take advantage of all of the different carrier networks out there to start scaling AI. And we're hoping that more telco partners like ourselves and T-Mobile will join the AI grid sort of movement with Nvidia and start making this available across more multi-cloud and hybrid architectures. Because at the end of the day, if we're deploying our architectures in containerized environments, those containerized environments hold the promise of multi-cloud scale. And if we can start routing the workloads and have this version of an orchestration capability that I outlined at a very high level available across multiple telco networks, then we have the ability to really create that grid at a global scale.